So here we are with our first meeting with the potential for students for our fall start at Health Enrichment Center. And this is Alyssa. Am I saying that right, Alyssa?
Yep.
Yep. Okay. Well, I can murder a word for sure. So, and she has very graciously agreed to let me record our chat. Is that correct?
That is correct.
All right. So we've done our due diligence for all of that. And I'll be able to use this for people to kind of see what these meetings are like.
Yeah.
So that's kind of fun. So we're doing this virtual thing to give students a chance to, prospective students, a chance to ask questions, to see my little face, to get a sense of my demeanor, to hear my birds chirp in the background, and continue to support your decision on enrollment in the fall. And I will not take more than 12 students. And I'm perfectly fine if the class hovers more at 10. We've got, of course, we live in the era of COVID and what that means. And so we're had to get creative on how to navigate this. Our family also owns a franchise spa. We own a Massage Green Spa. It's in the same building as the school. And we have been back to work there since the middle of July. So we've been able to test out and refine a lot of the same things that we're going to have to do in the classroom in order to be in compliance with social distancing and how do you touch people?
Right. So what does that look like?
Well, Luke and I, and I'll point you out to our website or our YouTube channel. We actually did a video about that can expand on this. So we're reconfiguring the classroom. Fortunately, in the building, in the facility, we've got a lot of room. And the other thing that we are very fortunate with is that we have windows that open. So that really, really helps with the idea of ventilation and all of that kind of stuff. So the one classroom that I liked is small, and we'd be in too close a contact with that. It's kind of around a round table. So we're going to see if we can recreate something like that in another one of our classrooms that actually has the curtains divided for practice and stuff, and see if we can spread people apart. Another thing I'm going to do is I don't exactly know how it's going to roll out, but if we can present the content as good or even better through a platform like this, and reconfigure the syllabus just a little bit so that when we're in class, we're more focusing on the hands-on type skills. Then we'll utilize Zoom. Probably we'll utilize Zoom because it's the one I know how to use.
Yeah.
And there may be days that we'll have class through Zoom. So, and I'm going to try to set up the syllabus presentation in a way that we have like maybe one day a month out of every Wednesday. We might have one day a month out of that we target to use through this type of a platform so that we stay ready. It's kind of like practice on it. And also then it gives us a opening, like if the weather is bad, you're driving a little ways, not too bad, but you're where your location is at that you shared with me earlier. If we have weather that is dicey, then quickly switch. And should we, I hope not, but should we have to move to a full remote platform, we've got the ability to do that. I've done that I finished out one class that was almost ready to graduate virtually. And then I've got another one that is technically graduating in a week. And they managed to get through their midterm before everything closed down. So they had the baseline hands-on skills. And then we were able to complete through with this virtual teaching. And it's worked better than one might expect for a hands-on education
Yeah.
like this.
That's been like the biggest question, that people ask. They're like, wait, you're still doing that? Like, that's still a thing?
Yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. So in the class, when we are together, obviously we're going to have to wear masks, which is what we do over at the spa. We have meticulous hand and forearm hygiene. Each of the students will learn how to clean and sanitize their area. I'm playing with the idea of um, pairing up students for practice segments with the same partner for like maybe a 2 to 3 week period
Yeah,
uh,
that's a good idea.
to kind of limit the exposure there, and then there's social distancing limit with everything else. See if everybody's okay. Then maybe have a week that we would do Zoom. Make sure that no symptoms appear with anybody, and then change that partnering around. So that's one of the things we've been taking, I'm considering, and I think that's pretty logical way to do things. Um, and, some modifications in positioning to accommodate the masks. And it's really interestingly, bottom line with, and I have studied this thing, I have to because I write textbooks, duh.
Yeah.
For our own spa and then the school, it really, really, really boils down to a mask, logical social distancing, and washing your hands. And then obviously, and sneezing into your elbow.
Just allergies, I swear.
And the uh, high touch surface areas being sanitized. So we use both bleach solution and alcohol. Those are the two that continue to stand up to uh, scrutiny in how stuff is used. And, we have practiced. The only thing that's really changed at the spa and how I'm teaching is the mask. Everything
Yeah,
else we were already teaching.
right.
So over at the spa, we have smocks that the massage therapist puts on, a new for each client, and then has a new one for the next client. And in
Hmm.
the rare case, there might be some contact. That won't necessarily be the case with you guys because you'll have your partner and you'll only work with them. So that's not something that probably will need to transfer into the classroom. And then we'll just continue to monitor as a group
Yeah.
how we're going to do this and how we're going to navigate and what's going to work out. And with this being a small school, single owner, proprietary like this, we have a lot more flexibility sometimes than other
Hmm.
institutions with that. So that's how we're gonna, that's the plan. But we all know about plans, right?
Yep.
So the group that comes through on this first post-COVID world kind of a thing, we all are going to be at some level making it up as we go, and we're going to be kind of a unique community within ourselves to do that. And uh, that's okay. It's okay that it works out that way. And what I have found is having to make some of these changes and alterations has actually worked better in some instances. And as far as the state of Michigan is concerned, the way schools can deliver a massage therapy program, we can use for stuff that is not what they call psychomotor, stuff that you do with your hands and forearms and stuff. We have some flexibility on what we can deliver. And so, there you go. Was that a very long-winded question, an answer to your question?
No, that was perfect. That was perfect.
And then, like I say, we'll see. We'll make it up as we go on stuff. So just know that I am monitoring it very, very closely, as is the entire staff around Health Enrichment Center. I'll be your main instructor on Zoom and in the classroom. And then my son Luke, who is my co-teacher, and he also was co-author of the textbooks this time. He'll also be doing the hands-on. So he's more in your generation, and so you'll get you'll get a chance to take a look at the continuum of how professional practice and stuff unfolds. So that's kind of cool. And then I have a couple of they're actually massage therapists that work for us over at our Massage Green location, but they have been with me forever. And I'm going to start incorporating them a little bit because they're in that environment, and they can, I think, have a lot to add
Yeah.
to how you are going to be prepared to move into this as a career. I tell you, it's been amazing to me. The demand for massage has not diminished through all of this. It has increased.
I've actually heard that from a couple of people.
Yeah, and there's a shortage of massage therapists as well. So the prospect of having your career unfold, however you choose to do that, it's good. And it was amazing to me when we reopened the spa. It's more of a wellness center kind of idea, which historically is what a spa is. It's a place of healing and wellness and health. We did not see any drop. People were clamoring to get back on the schedule, and they've been very good about following the criteria of wearing a mask and sanitizing hands and washing hands, and aware of how we have to increase the ventilation in the room and all that kind of stuff. They've been very amenable to that, because they, like you had said earlier before we started recording, they need their massage. This is how they increase the quality of their life, and then some of them they manage limitations so that they can get through a week or 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So that answers that. Do you have any other pressing questions right now before I show you some screen share stuff?
Nope, that was the main one for sure.
All right, so let's just look at these things real quick now. It's always interesting and I'm gonna close the chat box because I don't think anybody else is going to chat. It's just us. Now we'll see if I can share the screen. I always have to go through this whole rigmarole when I do this. So that didn't work. So then I come down here, and then I have to minimize this, and then I have to get to, so do you see, it's our YouTube channel. Do you see that? Health Enrichment Center School of Therapeutic Massage. Do you see that, Alyssa?
No.
You do not see that on your screen.
No.
What if I put that up? Do you see that?
Nope.
You know why you don't see it?
Why?
Because I haven't shared it.
Oh, yep, that's probably why.
So let's see if I can get myself back here and open this up. I don't have my reading glasses on. So let's try this again. Oh, there's Laura. Well, we'll stop doing that and we'll admit Laura. She's my daughter.
Okay.
And there she is. We have one participant, Laura Renee.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yeah. This is
I
Alyssa.
can't hear anything. Hold on.
So Laura is kind of the school administrator.
Okay.
She does a lot of stuff behind the scenes. She'll be the one that'll modulate through what the payments, how we take payments and what we do with all of that and records. And she's helped by somebody named Darcy.
Okay.
And Darcy is also our computer whiz. So if I ever figure out how to share the screen, I can show you a little bit of how that goes. So I am recording this, Laura, with Alyssa's permission. So she's asked some really good questions, and we've had a nice little chat so far. So that's been really good. So now,
Well, you don't really need me. I just wanted to pop in and see if you had any questions about the enrollment paperwork part.
yeah, Alyssa, do you have any questions about that?
Not particularly. I printed off the piece of paper. Do I just like send it in? Mail it?
The application?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can either mail it back or you can scan it in the computer and email it back, or take a picture of it with your phone and attach it to an email and send it back.
Okay.
Once we get that, then I'll mail you out the rest of the enrollment package, which will contain the contract, the payment agreement, and then that's when we'll ask you to gather a copy of your high school or GED transcripts, or something that shows you've completed at least a minimum of those things. Could be college transcripts too.
Okay.
And copy of your ID. But basically the first step is just getting that application back into me. And then once I receive that, then I send you out the next part, and it has step-by-step instructions on it. And you can always email. Email right now is better than phone because we're not actually at the office. So
Okay.
if you have any questions with that, that's kind of, I don't think you need much else from me.
Okay.
No, and once we get your application, because there's been a lot of interest, who knows how that's actually going to pan out. But people that have come forward, we want to make sure that they have their place secured in the class. So we move you from one file to the other.
Right.
Then it's confirmed once we get all the rest of the paperwork done. So
yeah, lots of people send in applications, but not everyone follows through with the next step. So that's kind of what, once you do the application and then we send you out the next step, then if we get that back, then we know you're actually serious about enrolling. So
Okay.
So now I've got the garbage truck going by. So this is as much live entertainment as you can get. So he always waves to me out the window as he goes
That's cute.
through.
any financial questions about payment arrangements or loans? Did you? Sorry.
Yeah, I got the information about the loans, and then I also saw that you can like pay each month type of thing.
Yep. So that's just $1,000 deposit and $500 a month. There's no interest. We just break up the amount for you into even payments so that you're paid off before you graduate.
Cool.
which is kind of nice.
Yeah, that's really nice.
And we like you to own your education. I know you have a bachelor's degree, and you may still owe for that, actually.
I don't. I'm lucky.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And we're small, family-owned school. Certainly, it's going to be to everybody's advantage if you are able to pay the deposit, pay the payments on a monthly basis. But life happens, and we do have some internal flexibility because of our format. But it's important that you stay communicating with us if
Right.
there's something that occurs financially. So do we have it set up so they can make payments online yet, Laura?
Yeah, it's not automatic, but if you wanted to make payments online, you just let me know, and then
Okay.
then I would create you an invoice that you can make that I'd email to you, and that you can log in and go ahead and make payments from home.
Okay.
Or you can just pay your first week of the month when you come to class. You can bring a check or pay with a card or whatever, the first week of each month at class.
Now, if
So
you pay with cash or a check and I take it, do you see this face? You make sure I write a receipt.
Fair.
I text Laura right away. Received your payment.
All right, noted. I got that.
you will I was gonna say you will probably interact with Darcy more than me, but I actually next month may start being in on Wednesdays for a portion of the day. That's the plan as of right now. So then you would see me a little bit more often, maybe with a couple of toddlers sometimes.
Laura's two little boys, 1, 3, and one almost 2.
Wow. Hands full, I can imagine.
So,
You see the
any
baby
other
gate here in the background on the stairs.
Yep, I was noticing the little measuring thing too.
any other questions, Alyssa, for Laura, do you think?
Nope, I think you covered it all.
Okay, well, I'm available by email if you need anything. So otherwise, have a good rest of your meeting.
All right, it's nice to meet
I
you.
gotta try to
You as
share the
well.
screen.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
If I can't get it shared, it's okay. So, okay. So, challenge with this, Alyssa. The tab I need to, what happens if I do that? Ah, can you see it now?
No.
You can't see something that says Mosby's Fundamentals of Therapeutic Massage. What if I hit that? Can you see that?
Nope.
No. Well, this is a bummer. I wonder if there's a tab you shouldn't have to do that. Post on dashboard. Can you see that?
Nope.
Well, let's see. We'll continue to try. Share screen. Ah, can you see that?
Oh yeah. Now we're cooking. Now we are cooking.
This isn't exactly the order I wanted it to come up in, but the now let's try something. Can you see that?
Yes.
Oh, perfect. You'd think by now I'd know how to use this. This is one of your textbooks that you're going to use, and we will give you on the first day of class. We will give you your 2 textbooks and access to the online version or the ebook for both of these.
Cool.
And that's included in your tuition. And then we'll get you set up on our learning management platform. Now, when you were doing your bachelor's degree, did you have any online courses? You probably did.
Oh yeah.
All right, so you're pretty familiar. We use Canvas as our link. You might have been on Blackboard
Yep, that's what I was using.
or something, but they're all pretty similar. So this is not going to feel as overwhelming to you as it might to other people. The e-version of the book is very nice. And I've got a lot of background in educational design and learning strategies and all of that. And all that kind of stuff is embedded in how the course rolls out for you. And then what I'm working on right now, as I am going through each of these chapters and kind of doing a recorded a lecture and guidance to self-teaching with these, because I've always expected students to be adult learners. I can always expect it, right?
Yeah.
And that you're going to do your own due diligence with stuff. You're going to read your assignments and follow through with the syllabus, and you're going to go over and above what's actually required with our graduation requirements. And so the part of the learning is that the textbook is your teacher. And I've expanded on that with these YouTube videos on our channel at the school. So each chapter is going to have my little face still fumbling through Zoom, and the birds still chirping. And I haven't had the garbage truck go by yet, but
That's a first.
that could happen. And that'll give you some guidance on, okay, how am I going to navigate this particular chapter? And that might be very interesting to you on lots of times people don't know how a textbook is designed and what goes into the actual creation of it and how it supports learning strategies and stuff. So that is the textbook, and both of them will be on a platform called Vital Source. Did you have any of your books virtual and use the Vital Source platform with it?
Not that I remember, but it has been a while.
Yeah, the stuff works pretty good on a mobile device, but you'll do better on a laptop if you have one.
Oh yeah, I'm a laptop worker for sure.
Okay. It's, sometimes things load funny or you lose part of the screen.
Yeah, no, I like to be on a computer for sure.
All right, so now my little navigation screen here is in my way, so I'm moving it all over the place here. So here's that Canvas interface.
Okay.
And in this is where the grade book will be and all that kind of stuff. And we're getting ready to load this. This is the first time we're using the new editions. The new editions just came out in the spring. I have this notification that hits me every once in a while. So we're working on this, but I can show you kind of how that's going to look. So these will be your two courses. And if I click on that, again, this platform should look pretty familiar to you.
Yep.
It goes through, and we've got a discussion board here. You click on this and there's just a ton of supportive animations from Elsevier about anatomy and physiology. Here's another thing called Body Spectrum Coloring Book that's a kind of a labeling activity to get your help with your anatomy. So there's a lot of documents in through here. This is competencies. Here's some practice tests for the MBLEX, which is the licensing exam. And then each chapter has a chapter test that will go directly into your grade book. That's a requirement for graduation. And all of the homework supports you becoming an excellent massage therapist. But the textbook structure and the stuff that goes specifically with the textbook, like these chapter tests, they're set up to prepare you for that licensing exam. Now, I don't know if you're test anxious or not, or have struggle with multiple choice type exams, but I have a lot of students that do. And so that's one of the advantages of a vocational education. Sometimes people that their brain just isn't wired to handle the academic educational presentation like you had in your college experience.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody thrives in that.
Yeah.
So, but they do tend to thrive really well in a more vocational type of an education. But they still have to get through this licensing exam.
Mm-hmm.
And so the overarching goals then on what we do is we want to make sure you have the foundation to challenge that exam. And I don't even guarantee you're going to pass it the first time. There's some, the exam, it's not tricky. It's written well. It's done by professionals, but it's confusing. A lot of massage therapists struggle with that exam. So my philosophy is go through your course, do the homework and the activities as they are presented, just before you graduate or after. Go take it. Just go take it. And if you pass, which you primarily probably will, then terrific. And if you don't, now you have some experience. And most of our students, if they do struggle with it, it's a test anxiety issue.
Yeah.
Or I will take on willingly, very willingly, teaching somebody that has some learning uniquenesses. Like I have dyslexia, for example. So keep that in mind when we're in class together, because never trust me saying a left or a right.
Fair.
It's kind of like taking a payment, you know. um, and so I will work with students that have a harder time with that. And typically our pass rate for the exam is up in the 80 to 85 percentile, which is really good. The pass rate for the last two cohorts that went through has been a little lower because they haven't been able to go immediately take the exam
Yeah.
because it was closed down. And so that did not support how we had built them up for that. So, but the content in the textbooks and the support material that we'll give to you, that's what it's about. And then it's building a language for and a platform for you to be an excellent massage therapist,
Okay.
to learn to be one as you graduate. So each chapter, and it's set up, the syllabus is set up so that you can work if you need to. It's class is 1 day a week, Wednesdays. I already explained to you how we might incorporate a Zoom day so that we can make a changeover and practice partners and that sort of thing. The fundamentals of therapeutic massage book is set up so it's like a chapter every 2 weeks of going through everything and all the requirements that you do with that. And the syllabus that's indicated as primary content. Essential Science, the other textbook we use, it's set up on the syllabus along with an online course that goes with it. Is set up for a chapter a month. So there's plenty of time if you can task yourself to stay on task, to thoroughly wade through the textbooks, do the activities, do the tests. These tests they're delivered online, they're open book, you get 10 tries. It's about consolidating information and retention and comprehension. So this is not a punitive type program where you're going to fail and you're going to have to do it over.
Right.
You know, we're going to work with you. You've got an academic background. You may find this approach to education very refreshing.
Yeah. Sounds like it.
So I don't know. Here's the dashboard for Canvas. And these are all the courses I've got going. I'm going to open one that the group has graduated so that you can see how the grading goes. I leave these up for people for a while so that if they haven't studied or they're still working on the Facebook page. Where'd that come from out of my brain? They're still working on the MBLEX exam or whatever. So, but this is how I know, where is my grade book? Here it is. This is how I know what people have done and how it's going to work. And it shows up when you've completed it, and I can keep track. I check this regularly. This is part of my job behind the scenes. So again, you've had online courses, you kind of know how this works. But we get people that are entering massage as a retirement career. And
Okay.
so they're older, and this is real unfamiliar to them.
Yeah.
So sometimes what I will do is have a student that is more computer savvy kind of be a buddy with somebody that struggles a little bit more with it. So the old watch one, do one, teach one thing. And then let's see if we can get a YouTube channel up. Can you see that?
Yep.
All right. So I've been working diligently, and Luke and I have been working diligently to create a real library here. You can get on this, just put Health Enrichment Center into a YouTube search. You'll see this little logo right here. And you can preview some of these if you want to, just to get an idea of how things are going.
Okay.
But I have been working on some channels, some playlists, and within here, there's also some videos that show a little bit more about the online course and how that goes with essential science. And you asked about how we're going to accommodate in the COVID world. There's a video about that. There's a video on there about common questions. And I think on the email I sent you guys, you characters, you had links to some of these as a pre-information delivery for this. And then finally, cross your fingers, there's our school webpage.
Wonderful.
And if you go under the program tab, there's the catalog. And so all the details and everything are there. And then in the future, as you read through this, jot down any questions you've got. And if we can answer them via email, we will. If not, we can even schedule another meeting with Zoom. So
Okay.
do read the catalog, and that pretty much takes care of the things I wanted to show you on that. So there's a lot of information you can search around as a preliminary to all of this that'll answer a lot of your questions. Now that doesn't mean you can't ask me a million questions right now. Please feel free to do that, but there is support material available for you. So
Okay.
now I have to get out of this, which is called stop share.
There we go.
So, did that stimulate any questions for you?
I don't think so really. I have looked through some of that stuff already, so I think I had like a decent idea going into it.
Good, good. And I really appreciate you. So here's the deal for you and anybody that might be listening to this in the future. I want to teach excellent students. Now, that doesn't mean that you might not have some difficulty with reading comprehension, or you might not have anxiety around a test, or you might not, might have a visual issue or whatever. I have that too, because of glaucoma. So I never know where I lay anything down. So I always give people permission to laugh with me and at me. Because I am an internationally known expert. What do you think about that? That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
And the school's been really big at one time, and now it's very small. It's very concentrated. We make our own little universe kind of as we're going through the program. a group of you start together, you help each other,
Yeah.
we identify what strengths and weaknesses we all have, and then we all come out the other end successfully. And the course is not punitive. It's not going to be, okay, you didn't pass this quiz, and there aren't going to be pop quizzes, and that's not going to be. So there is then an expectation that you want to do this,
Yeah.
all of the yous, and that we're going to take advantage of all of the technology that we can, and all the classroom activity that we can, and the textbooks. And what's fun about that is that Luke and I know, we know the secrets behind the textbooks, as well as these YouTubes. For example, I can drive Luke nuts. All right. So if you look at some of the demonstration videos we've done, and he's doing the presentation, for example, and I'm off fiddling around or something, you can tell that he wants to say, now he'll call me Sandy so it doesn't confuse the students, but he'll say, now Mom, or now Sandy, because I'm over there fooling around or something. So you get a little bit of the inside scoop.
Yeah.
We are family owned. Laura is my daughter. You have been a daughter. We can really snark at each other.
I can imagine.
You may experience that, and then you just go. But we worked together really well, even though she had told me she would never work for me. As she got into her more middle years, she did come back to do that. So, but she's ex-military, and she's an ex-biology teacher in public
Okay,
school.
wow.
So she's got that as a background as well. So, and I want to prepare future leaders too. And I can see that in you already.
Oh, it's nice.
And I've got a really good eye for that. And not everybody wants to have that as a future projection. In the class that I have currently, I have one person in particular that this is their retirement career. And they just want to help people and serve people. They don't want to get into any of the future changes or anything like that. That's not what they want to do. But others do. And I want to make sure that you have the insights to be able to do that. And there is a career pathway, there is a progression that you can go through. And if you already have an academic degree like you do, you can build on that. So, but we also bumble and stumble and laugh, and we maintain professionalism. Sometimes we can get a little bit too family, like feels like a family.
Yeah.
And then we'll have to tighten up the professionalism a little bit. When you're in class, you wear a uniform, it's scrubs and all of that. That's outlined in the catalog. We have a video on that. And then if you got any questions now, you can ask me about what that entails. Or once you kind of look through the material, if you got any other questions, you can ask me. So, but we really care about our students, and we want students that really care. And we're willing to go the extra mile for somebody that may have some challenges. And I expect other students to also do that.
Yeah.
And try to stay up to date on all of the the social context within how we do massage and how we work, and learning to use the proper language with gender fluidity and all of that kind of stuff that sometimes it seems to change underneath us, and then we said something that offends and we didn't mean that. So we have to start practicing this stuff with each other,
Right.
in a safe environment. So again, that's kind of a uniqueness about what we can do. And I will always be honest with you and always be transparent. I will always do that. And sometimes that's hard to do. Sometimes it's hard to hear some of that. And I want you to always be that way with us
Right.
too. And we can learn how to deal with things that didn't happen the way we expected, or conflict or confusion or any of those things. We can learn within that more protected environment on how to solve those issues. So that's stuff that's not on the syllabus.
Right.
Yeah. So, and Luke and I are your primary instructors. So we know it's not like you've got an instructor that's teaching you anatomy and then you've got another one over here that's teaching you draping. We're teaching you all of it. So we know where people are struggling
Right.
and where they're really thriving. We know that. And, again, you can't do that in a large class, or you can't do that in a class that's not what's called a linear cohort design.
Hmm.
You know, so we're together for 12 months.
Yeah.
So, and then like the schedule again is every Wednesday, 9 to 5 technically. Lots of times we'll shorten lunch and get out at 4:30 because of traffic. Try to get ahead of the traffic going home. And Zoom classes will be a morning meeting, and then there'll be a break of some type. I'll usually have an activity where I'm going to say, okay, now, Alyssa, I want you to take this segment in the textbook and I want you to come up with a presentation about that. And then I might say, okay, now you two students, you figure out how to do a little group project here. Or I might say, scramble around the house and find what it takes to make a model of a knee joint.
Okay.
And then you're gonna present that. And we can do those things over this type of a platform. I'll give you a couple, 3 hours, and then we'll rejoin again via Zoom and do that. So it's not like you're gonna sit here for 8 hours.
Yeah.
We're not gonna do that. So, and we'll get better at Zoom as we go through it. So then at midterm, halfway through, then we will add one weekend a month to that Wednesday class schedule. That is the second weekend of the month, and that
Okay.
is our student clinic. Now, we had to suspend that for the current class and had to come up with other things to do, but that's where the public comes in, and it's the second weekend of every month, so you can plan around it. It's also when you start something called job shadowing, because the main employer uh, is the franchise structure that is working itself. There are a lot of different brands, but it's working itself into that wellness sector, that health enhancing sector. Um, I think it's very helpful to see how that runs and how that operates.
Yeah.
And so 24 hours you can schedule within our work hours, and it's not about learning massage necessarily, although you can observe a massage. It's how to understand how that work environment
Hmm.
functions. So that's pretty much how your curriculum lays out. And been doing it that way for a long, 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 long time. School's 34 years old. Pretty good, huh? Anything else that you can think of?
Um, no, I don't think so.
You have been so gracious to let me record this. I think it'll be very helpful as others maybe forgot about the meeting, or kind of wonder what they're going to be, or that kind of thing. I probably will post this up on the school Facebook page, if that's okay with
My
you.
5 minutes of fame.
Yes, you're going to have your 5 minutes of fame.
Yeah, not a problem.
And now I have teachers all over the country that follow that, so you may really have your 5 minutes.
Awesome.
Get an idea of what these conversations are like, and then go from there. And so again, I appreciate having this chat with you. You're really fun to talk with. I hope that this is another step in you feeling confident that this is the career path you want to follow, and that
Yeah.
you're in school for you.
Yeah, definitely.
And I do encourage all students, check it out, check out other schools. You said you had done that.
Yeah.
There had been, you had also gotten a referral from
Yeah.
somebody who highly recommended. And I really appreciate that. You tell that individual that I said thank you. That's where we get our best students too, by the way,
Yeah.
is when they come through that network. I don't do a lot of neon advertising. Students find us,
Right, right.
you know, and hope that, the plan is that we'll all meet together on the first day of class, which is September 30th. Um, and if we have to meet outside, we'll meet outside, and get some face-to-face time and get your books and get all your stuff and,
Okay.
you
Beautiful.
know, navigate what you'll need to scrounge up for practice. Do you have some family members around that you can practice on at home?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, good, because you do need to practice at home.
Yep.
And I think you want to be really good at this.
Yeah.
And so the more you practice, the better you're going to be. And we just can't offer enough practice time in the classroom. There's just enough,
Yeah.
so there you go. And I am very down to earth.
I can
I
tell
think
I like that.
I don't want, I want people to be confident and comfortable in that.
Yeah.
So is Luke. Luke is a lot of fun. You'll get a chance of seeing his personality if you look at some of the YouTube videos.
Yeah, I plan on it.
Okay, unless there is something else, we can close this down.
Alrighty.
And again, thank you so very much for allowing me to record. And
Yeah, thanks for talking with me.
we'll just see how things go in the future.
All right, sounds good.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to push the end button.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.